Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Game on Cloud 9 here, and I'm here to bring you guys a new One Piece manga 699 prediction. And we're almost to that chapter 700, guys. Almost there. So I'm pretty sure once we get to chapter 700, since that's a landmark, we definitely will get some kind of sweet color page or something like that. Hopefully, like I always say, it pertains to something, maybe some kind of foreshadowing to a future event in the manga or something like that. I usually love color pages like that, so hopefully Oda will deliver with that. But I am looking forward to that chapter 700 because usually in a lot of mangas, once they reach that certain number, you always know that we always get usually a special chapter or at least a sweet color page. So definitely look forward to that. But before I get on the synopsis of this week's chapter, as well as the prediction and my overall thoughts, I want to let everybody know that next week we are not supposed to have a One Piece chapter. One Piece is supposed to be going on break. So anybody who's been is looking forward to next week's chapter, and you check it on Wednesday and you're wondering why it's not there, now you know why I won't be there since it's going on break. In case you didn't know that, so just be ready for that. Now, to get on to the synopsis of this week's chapter, of course, pretty much is a continuation of what happened with Doflamingo. As we all know, in the previous chapter, Doflamingo had pretty much been blackmailed by Law, and things happened a lot differently than I actually thought. Because I thought Doflamingo instantly was going to be like, "All right, I give up." Well, not give up, but he was actually going to go ahead and resign and then go after them. But actually, from what we see, he didn't do that. He ran straight for Punk Hazard and arrived at Punk Hazard. Even got Baby Five and Buffalo their bodies back, put their heads back on their bodies, and pretty much started slicing and dicing the Marines up. And to me, I like that because I'm thinking like that is what I want from New World. This is New World now, people. This is New World. This is what I've been looking for. I'm like the whole Caesar Clown business. Nah, man. That was trash to me. Well, not trash, but I didn't like it that much. And this is what I've been wanting to see. So Doflamingo, of course, he's wrecking the Marines, tearing them up. Smoker can't do anything. Of course, was trying to fight against them. Then we get a flash over to the Straw Hats. Of course, we have this. We have the Straw Hats having a conversation about basically what they're getting ready to do. Law explains the plan a little bit more to him. So I felt like Law going over the plan again kind of felt like the same thing that we already heard. So we didn't really learn anything new in the chapter. So that part was a little downer. I mean, I was expected maybe to learn a few new things. The only thing that we learned, I guess, is that they're heading straight for Dressrosa, which is pretty sweet because then it lets us know fight with Luffy, Straw Hats versus, of course, Doflamingo's people. And Doflamingo obviously is where we're actually heading. So now we actually at least know what direction we're all going now. You can see all the Straw Hats, and maybe not all the Straw Hats, but Usopp, Nami, and Chopper don't really want to go there, but that's obviously where they're going. And we also had a little bit of comedic scenes here. There, like one with Sanji, of course, and his interaction with Caesar Clown, because Caesar Clown, like he was trying to give Caesar Clown a big old smack with his foot, and or actually he did hit him. And Chopper got all mad because he's like, wait, let me fix him up first. And he's like, wait a minute, so you're okay with me doing it after you're done, healing him? So it's kind of interesting. I thought that's kind of, it's kind of weird. Like, would it really matter, Chopper? Would it really matter? I mean, if he's already, would it matter if Sanji hit him now or later? Because regardless, he's going to be injured. But I don't know. That's besides the point. But anyway, after that particular scene, we had Sanji talk a little bit with Law, telling him like, Luffy's idea of an alliance and your idea of an alliance is completely different. It's kind of funny that Law's demeanor while he's on the crew, like, he kind of, I don't know. It's like you see Luffy's all wanting to be buddy buddy with him. Law's just kind of like has that kind of expression on his face, like I really don't care about being buddy buddy. I just want to get down to business, like straight up like a partnership or something. you know. So I don't know, Luffy. Obviously, I think Law is gonna start warming up to Luffy a little bit more later on, down the line. But one of my biggest questions actually is with the Straw Hats and of course the Law's crew working together right now for as long as they plan on working together to take out all these emperors, is that really going to last? Because I have a feeling it's not going to last. And does Law have anything up his sleeve? Which I wouldn't put it past him to have something up his sleeve later on. I mean, obviously they're going to try to take out Doflamingo now, but I don't see this lasting too much past this particular arc, or I should say, this whole Dressrosa thing. You know what I mean? Because all the Emperors, that sounds a bit too much. I don't see. I mean, Law obviously he has his own crew. He's not going to join Luffy's crew, and I definitely don't. I think the Straw Hats are going to have their own set of adventures for a little bit. So yeah, I'm kind of wondering how that's going to all break down. But we also see Kinemon is obviously going in the same direction as them. So I mean, I'm hoping that Kinemo. I mean, we know how he was against pirates and all that before that, but I'm hoping that he actually decides to stay on the Straw Hat crew. That's what I want. That's what I would like for him to do. Maybe drop off Monosuke and actually be like, you know what, I'm going to join the crew, or I don't mind joining, or Luffy ask him, because I think he would fit really nicely in the crew. And I don't know about you guys, but I would like to see that. But hopefully that's what happens. But anyway, the end of the chapter definitely was the best part of the chapter, because obviously, we flashback, we see Doflamingo. I tore up all the Marines or whatnot. The Marines are trembling in fear. They're begging for him not to kill Smoker. Smoker's just laid out, flat out on the ground, and got blood covered all over his face. And then obviously, he's getting ready to go for the finishing blow in. Aokiji, that's the dude who we saw in the shadows, which I know some people predicted that was going to be the case. I was hoping not, only because I was thinking, I wanted somebody else, maybe a newer character or something like that. But Aokiji was a person in the shadows, which, he is one of my favorite One Piece characters, so I don't mind that. But, he's behind him and he's just like, hey, friend, would you mind taking your foot off my friend right there? We go way back. So that was the end right there. And the cliffhanger definitely was excellent, especially be going on a 2 week break. Definitely. Well, we didn't get the Bleach chapter this week, but definitely, I would say, comparing it with Naruto, it definitely had the better cliffhanger. So, I did really like this week's chapter. If I were to point out some flaws with it, because I had a problem with the middle part of the chapter, because I felt like Oda, like, repeating certain things over with the plan, it wasn't really necessary. I mean, yes, the Straw Hats had to know, but I feel like he could have shortened it up and threw some new information in there. So I kind of have to, you know, cut a little bit off of this week's chapter because of that, because I felt like that wasn't necessarily necessary. And that always ties in with the whole pacing thing. A lot of people wonder what I mean about sometimes the pacing, can be a little bit off in One Piece. And that's one of the things right there. I feel like sometimes scenes like that can be shaved down, cut down. But I mean, that's just my personal opinion. But overall, it was a good chapter and was very enjoyable. And the cliffhanger definitely was spot on. Now, after this particular, like, of course we saw this particular scene, I do think that we are going to see a small scuffle between Aokiji and Doflamingo, but obviously it's not going to be a long thing. I mean, Aokiji, I'm assuming, maybe is the stronger one, or maybe they may be on the same level, because we all know Doflamingo was pretty darn powerful itself, and I do predict that he's probably one of the strongest Shichibukai when you look at all the Shichibukai as a whole. I mean, that's just my guess. And so he may be at like Admiral level or something like that. So I definitely do think they're going to have a pretty decent fight. But Doflamingo, knowing him, maybe he'll escape, or maybe he'll just leave Smoker alone, go to the next place. Maybe he'll try to get information out of Aokiji, something along those lines. Dressrosa, we probably won't get there maybe for maybe a couple more chapters, assuming, probably going to be more dialogue going along between the Straw Hats. But I do think that we're going to see somewhat of what's going on in Dressrosa. Just because Oda tends to do stuff like that, maybe we'll flash over Destro, so they're gonna wonder what's taking Doflamingo so long, what's he up to, what's he doing, his people. So I mean, I do predict that there may be a small scuffle between Aokiji and Doflamingo, but definitely don't think it's going to be something that's stretched out or last, because Doflamingo, obviously, he wants to catch the Straw Hats. He doesn't want to probably stick around there all day and fight with Aokiji when he has some business to attend to, because obviously, we all know the whole sad gas is more important to him, rather than probably fighting against Aokiji for a long period of time. And then you have, he's just kind of killing Smoker just for that, or he's only messing with the Marines just for the heck of it, because he's trying to get information out of them, and that's why he was getting ready to finish off Smoker, because he wasn't giving him anything, because we all know Smoker knows what's going on. And I actually like the fact that Smoker's not really saying anything right now, because it shows, I think Smoker cares about the Straw Hats slightly, a little bit at least. So, I do like that part, of course, Smoker's character, that, he tries to hide that, but at the same time, we know he cares. But, anyway, these are pretty much my thoughts on this week's chapter of One Piece. Let me know what you guys think. Did you think it was a good chapter of One Piece? And also, do you agree with some of the things I said about with this week's chapter? Do you think maybe the middle could have been shaved down a little bit? And also, did you think the cliffhanger was going to be good? Once again, just let everybody know, there is no One Piece chapter next week, just so that you have a heads up. So again, nobody should be surprised about that. I mean, only way we should be surprised is if a chapter does come out, which I'm hoping that, of course, maybe, hey, that was a translation or something. I would love it if a new chapter came out next week, but it doesn't appear that it is going to come out next week. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Please don't forget to rate this video. So if you did like it, please put a thumbs up. And if you didn't like it, you can feel free to put a thumbs down. The choice is yours, guys. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you enjoy my content and you would like to keep up with my content, it definitely does help and motivate me. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.